sometimes I feel like when somebody's in front of me, because I can get distracted easily
Yeah.
and do, and I'm not listening because I'm distracted by the things around me. But when I catch something that's like, this is important, pay attention, and you widen the lens, and then all the attention goes to that place. And you are actively in the moment, actively listening, and actively participating in service to what is needed to be done at the time, or you listen or provide feedback, whatever it is. And I think, like, unless you're, that's where your intuition comes in, like, because you have to feel the thing, the spark, you have to be present enough, even though you're distracted, to just like figure it out.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I don't think I've actually broken it down this way before,
Yeah.
but I actually think this is exactly why there's a tension to both. It's like being present and being of service. There's a way in which you have to hold the whole human experience in that
Mm-hmm.
moment, that you're
Yeah.
holding the fact that we're messy humans and that there might be some kind of interpersonal dynamic going on with this
Yeah.
person or whoever you're trying to give to, at the same time that you have an intuition of how to move and what to say. Or
You're not, yeah, I feel like you're in the moment and you're only working on that moment. You're not working on, and you're not coming from a place with all of these other preconceived things or history or anything. You're, even if it's somebody you have a ton of history with,
mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter at that point because you're there with them. And depending on the service that you're trying to give, it could be as simple as, I don't know, Scout. I noticed my daughter's dog, Scout, wasn't finishing her dinner. And it was going in a perfectly good bowl, and it had been the food she had been eating for a long time. And I could have just been like, well, she doesn't like her dinner. But I watched her eat to wonder why she wasn't eating all her dinner. And she couldn't get her long nose in the corners, like she was flopping it
Oh.
over the edge and trying to lick it up. And I was like, oh, it's uncomfortable for her to eat out of that bowl. How about if I do it differently? And I thought, I'll put it on a plate that has a little lip so she can't lick it off, but she doesn't have to get her long nose over the sides of the bowl that everybody feeds their dog in, and see if that works for her. And lo and behold, it did. So, like, it was just that simple act of seeing.
Yes.
And she's an 11-year-old dog. We haven't seen this whole time.
Yeah.
And it was hard for her, or taken that into account.
Isn't that's so funny?
Because everybody feeds their dogs out of bowls. So it didn't, so it's just slowing down and wanting to fix the issue for her
Right.
and seeing the issue for the issue. Like, or,
And maybe the key to that too is seeing that, like you said, we all use bowls to feed
yeah,
ourselves and each other, but
yeah,
you have to put yourself in the position
of
of
the
her,
other.
of
Yes,
the other, to see them, to
exactly.
see their nose struggling on the lip of a
Yes.
bowl. And I think
Yeah.
that just like that little detail is such an important insight into the way that we miss that in each other. We miss
Yeah.
the nose to the lip of
To
the
the lip of the
bowl.
bowl. Like, we don't slow down enough. And I think that that's when, like, our lived experience, we just rely on it too much sometimes,
Yeah.
right? Or we, like, for me, it'll be, sometimes I find myself excusing myself from not paying really good attention to things because it's like a daily habit or something. It's not focused in on, it's not a present. So presence means a lot, I think, in that of being able to like see the whole, slowing down enough to see the whole person, the whole dog, the whole bowl, the whole thing. And with people, holding space for people is more following intuition.
Mm.
I find that that is like when you listen, for me, it's listening and then wondering how they're doing, like wondering what their experience is of the thing they're telling me, wondering how it's hitting them, how they're taking care of themselves, how they're proceeding, and who's helping them do that.
Mm.
Or actively participating in joy with them or meeting them at the need, like whether that's amplification of joy or amplification of experience, or if it feels hard to me, how they're getting through that hardness, how they're getting through that struggle, how they're getting through that experience. And then I feel like I have a hard, like, time. I've had to I actively reteaching myself how to relate because I use my own experience to relate, and sometimes that makes it about me
Mm-hmm.
because that's how I've always related. Like, oh yeah, that and that, and I excuse myself from that sometimes because coming from a genuine place of trying to connect. But what I like better now is like using my curiosity about their experience and what they're going through. So, like with questions or with things that will just pop into my head, like, you know, who's protecting you? Who's, you know, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
changing. So I feel a change. I think I used to use personal experience to connect, but now I'm I'm moving into curiosity.
Mm. Yeah. And that curiosity, it feels like it's almost like an uncloaking of like your personal experience. Like you're taking off your personal experience
Mm,
for the opportunity to find something else that's underneath that when you connect
yeah,
with someone.
yeah, that's true. It's like soaking them in. It's like I want to soak you in.
Yeah.
I don't need to meet you. I need to soak you in.
Right. I don't need to meet you. I need to soak you in.
Yeah,
And through that, you're in the present moment with someone
yeah.
enough that your past and their past doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Not that it doesn't matter in the bigger scheme.
Or to each other, or to each
Right.
other's experience, or to whatever. But it creates its own moment. It creates its own, what would it be? Like its own history in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, like it's its own little experience, all too onto itself.
Right. I was talking to someone the other day about this. It's almost like when you have those moments of real presence with each other,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you create a field
Yeah.
in that experience almost feels outside of time, right? Where you're, because it's you're not referencing the past and you're
Mm-mm.
not referencing the future. You're just creating this place almost where
It
the
is like a
two,
place. It feels like a
it
place.
does feel like a place because it's grounded too.
Yeah.
It's not like you're off somewhere floating in outer space.
Or in your head.
Yeah. You're in your body.
Yes, it's a grounded place.
It's a grounded place,
Yeah.
but it's almost like a bubble of we're just going to be with what's here in this immediate environment with the two of us right now.
And I don't even think it's that big of contract, because I think it just happens when you pay attention.
Right.
Like that creates that contract. It's like, yeah, because when it happens, both people feel it. It's undeniable. It will bring up emotion. It will bring up joy. It will bring up curiosity. It will bring up all kinds of other things behind it. And I think it also usually asks more questions than it answers sometimes.
I find that.
Yeah.
Even, sitting here and doing this practice now with the podcast.
Yeah.
That when I watch back on the conversations, because when you're so present, you don't think about what is it that we talked about. But at the end of it, when I watch back, we ask more questions and we answer things. And it's so interesting that that's almost just an effect of being present with someone, that there is more curiosity in that field, in that place.
Yeah, I think it's endless.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you and I talk, we go.
I know, and that's like literally, we've been together for like close to a week talking nonstop. And I'm like,
and now we're talking.
Let's just record it for a little while. But if y'all could see the full extent,
The worlds we've wondered. Yeah.
And what's so beautiful and what I appreciate about you so much is that we can sustain that connection consistently for days, which is not an ordinary thing. I mean, there's usually points of disconnection that are very natural and normal for humans to have.
Absolutely.
All throughout a day, you have a bad day, something happens, and then you disconnect or have a fight, and then you come back together. And I feel with you, like we've had points of tension or points where we're like feeling out differences or things like that. But I've also felt that there's this honesty and like transparency with you that is different, where I actually don't feel like I know how you feel. And I know that we can come back together to the conversation.
We always do, but I think you undermined your part in that a little bit, and that you're very good at, when we're in parts of tension, you're very good at softly guiding your principle or your thought or what you're protecting or bringing up into the conversation, and it will teach me something. Like, and we're both people that will take it in and work with it. We're not trying to make the other one feel or say or think any differently. That's not what we're there for. We're both exploring, and we're both putting our experience or opinion out there to each other, and we both feel safe enough to do that with each other.
And to be open to learning from each other.
And be open to, from learning from each other and letting the other be other.
Right. Yeah.
Which is really important.
That is really important.
Yeah, I never once felt like I need you to feel like I feel.
Right.
And I don't think you've ever felt that about me. I've never felt that come from you.
No.
So I think even if, and as humans do, and as we have different experiences and different ways of approaching and stuff, but I also think we're respectful of each other's feelings.
And respect, because I'm an etymology nerd.
Yeah.
It means to hold someone in sight, like that you see each other.
And that And that's
Yeah.
the important part too,
Right.
because when I respect your opinion, I
Yeah.
see it.
Right. And you see it not just as a personality, but you
Yeah.
see it at its essence.
Yeah.
And that is I do feel the where you can hold the difference and the openness and not be, defending and butting heads is when there's a seeing
Yeah.
on a deeper level of the other enough that you can hold both their like very human opinion
Yeah.
and where it's coming from, like in its roots maybe.
I mean, I would expect a human, like humanness and the
Yeah.
interaction and the messiness and all of it, especially if you're getting deep and you are passionate or anything about what you're talking about. But I also feel like mm, when I feel that, I'm always checking myself too. I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling like I want to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm feeling that tension, and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's not directed towards you
Yeah.
at all. It's like this personal experience
Right.
I'm
It's that
having with the
like
subject matter, and I'm
the
like, ooh,
discomfort that
yeah,
comes up when you feel, yeah, totally.
yeah,
When
and it,
there's a difference of opinion or there's
yeah,
something that you have to share that you're maybe confronting in yourself as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's true,
Yeah.
like that's and so paying attention to what's happening with me in the conversation and then wondering, why is that happening? Am I missing something? Am I like, is this an old wound? Is this good? Is it bad? And then also, like, when I do that with myself and I'm like, and you're human and you're messy and it's okay. But it's a good thing to wonder about. It's a good thing to learn from. It's a good thing to be curious about in the conversation.
Right.
And
That word wonder, you used it again.
oh, did I?
Yeah, and I find that that's interesting because it is such a curious word. Like
Yeah.
it's a curiosity word. And to wonder also feels like it's a childlike joy kind
Yeah.
of energy where it's a lightness to wondering about something that could feel very sticky.
It could, but it doesn't
Doesn't need to
need
be.
to be. And I also think just as humans, we don't do that enough. We're not curious enough. We don't wonder enough. We don't like look at systems and say, why enough?
Right.
And understand that the way we go about daily life was invented by other people that are just people like you or just a person, like just humans from the beginning of time trying to get by. And it's okay to think differently and be differently and maybe write a different story.
Yeah. And actually, that's the only thing we can really do to change systems is to be different, write a different story, move differently, speak differently, because systems are just made of people.
It's just people.
It's just people who show up every day peopling in the same ways, but if people in a different way, we have different systems.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like people want to make it smaller, like shut it down instead of making it more expansive.
Mm.
And I think that that's the mistake. It seems like it would be messier and more complicated to make it expansive. And we're all just trying to get through the day, especially now with all the stress of everything going on. But the joy is in the wondering and the expansiveness. It's not in the robotic, everyday routine of systems that we did not invent for ourselves.
Right. The systems that give us answers instead of questions.
Yes, exactly. 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 That tells us what is what and how to do what and how to be what.
Actually,
And
maybe it's
yes,
really just
exactly.
like killing the question is what just
Maybe
kills
that
our
is
aliveness.
our expansiveness. And wouldn't that be true? That's exactly would be the outcome of any system that's trying to control,
Right.
which is true.
Yeah, and which is made of people who are trying to control, and for very good reasons, for out of fear, out of history of pain or suffering. And so when those things come up, I mean, when I find control or fear in my body, in
Yeah.
my system, which is a part of this greater system,
Yeah.
like you said, when you're talking about like that discomfort inside of you, it's like what I've been, attempting is really wondering about that. Like wondering, what is this here for? Some of it is here because it's trying to protect me in that moment. And actually, there's real cause for it
For
being
it being
here.
there, yes.
And so it's not inherently a bad thing to try to find ways to control what's going on in our lives. But at the same time, if we settle into places like that,
Yeah.
that's when we lose the wonder, we lose the questions, and we lose the fluidity and aliveness of our life.
Or of our relationships or of part of our lives.
Yeah.
And then because that becomes the shutting down.
Right.
That
And the
becomes the
closing off,
walling up and
the
the closing off and the
defensiveness.
defensiveness. And then you're not wondering anymore about why you can communicate. You're not actively looking for solutions to questions anymore. It's
Yeah.
then and sometimes that needs to happen too.
Yeah.
So it's and that's a because if you're not in service of yourself first, you can't be in service of other people.
Tell me more about that.
I mean, to use an old trope, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. How the hell are you going to love somebody else? Hello, RuPaul. Like, if you can't.
Yes.
But true. Like, one of the truth is,
I mean, yeah. It's a trope
if
for a
it's
reason.
like, put your mask on first, and then put the mask on the person you're trying to help. It seems I fought that for almost my whole life. It just didn't make sense to me at all. And I'm I think you will spend maybe well, I will spend a lifetime trying to love myself correctly.
I think we all will, yeah.
Maybe, but
Anyone who
maybe
claims
somebody
that they're
has, but I don't
sure.
know. I'm not going to speak for anybody.
I would
Other lived
wonder.
experience. I would wonder too. I also wonder about people who don't like dogs and chocolate, but
This
I
is
mean,
suspicious.
it's a
They're
little suspicious.
I don't know if there's any self-love there if we don't like
I
dogs and chocolate.
don't know. But then I have to see what they do love, and maybe they love other things. And I'm sure that's true. But yeah, it's for me will be a lifetime because I feel like with any kind of love, again back to the service in the moment, in the spark, in the thing that's happening in front of you, it's fleeting. You can I mean, the times that I've truly, truly, truly felt self-love have been astonishing to me. But it's not a daily lived experience to be in that bliss, to be in that knowing, to be surrounded by it. So it's work.
Right. And
Like
that self-love it's not a feeling. We talked about love, what is love, and then what would be self-love, because there's the feeling we can have of, oh, I love myself today. I have a great hair day. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm walking down the street feeling great. And that can be a safe place to try to, in a sense, for me, I found like almost hide out is to try to feel good. Um,
I
but it doesn't allow for the self-love that allows for the whole self.
and that's the what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like the feelings probably the reward of the work.
Right. It's how you actually relate to
All of
all
it.
the self
Yeah.
that feels better because it's more inclusive of all of yourself. It's like when you stop hating most like all these parts that were once rejected, it does feel better.
Absolutely. But I also like another layer of that is to get into, for me, the first time I felt self love was through um, a meditation where I actually was meditating on my inner child and could get past a lot of walls and pain and all the way to her, grasp her and hold her.
Yeah.
Like that feeling that I got from that. And the only other thing I could attach it to is the only other love I have ever felt like that was the first time I held my daughter Marika. And that was before I've done the self love work. But she taught me how what love felt like.
Yeah.
I never felt love before that moment. And so when I had the experience of feeling love, when I found it for myself, it was the same feeling.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I relate it in that way, in that feeling way, like, and maybe that is like my love for Mariko was otherworldly, biological. I don't, mothers. I think hopefully all have that feeling. I know like motherhood is different for every woman, and it's all different, or every person. But whatever was between her and I was profound. And then I was able to have that later for what I had never been given as a child
When you held your own inner
when I
child.
held my own inner child. Um, and that's what I mean about fleeting. Like, it's,
Right.
I mean, my relationship with myself is complicated, and I'm always going to be in love with myself. And nobody will be, but accepting of the messiness and accepting it's helped me accept and learn and be more curious and and it almost feels to me like we're always swimming in different universes, like in and out, and they keep it, like it's just never ending. Like our conversations, it's just constant, like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like the there's no pinning down us if we are actually allowing ourselves to be ourselves. When you have the walls up and you have all of your defenses,
Yeah,
then you can kind of pin down some of the basics of what you think you are and camp there.
yeah, you could camp in that
Right.
stew. You could
And
set up
then
camp.
that's the benefit of that, and that's why I feel like, oh, it makes so much sense to stay there because there's a sense of certainty
Absolutely.
and yet it never lasts, right? So like something in life will come in and knock one of those walls down or crack it, or something happens that doesn't, because life is gonna life, and whether you're down for it or not, something's gonna move.
I mean, if you're camping in perception, or you're camping in like uh, the way other people see you, or what you want to be perceived at, or your ego, or your job, or like all the trappings. Um, oh yeah, you're gonna be upset a lot.
You're gonna
Because
you're
not
gonna be like
everybody's gonna
holding
agree
on for
with you.
dear life to your little camp tent, and you're gonna, like, the storms are coming,
I
the
was like, here comes
floods
the
are
hurricane.
coming, yeah, and you're like,
And you're
no,
like holding on to the
to the
last
little,
pose.
yeah. Actually, I really like this metaphor
Yeah, I
because
do too. It's
I've never
really
thought of it
good.
before, but this is what happens sometimes when you're present with something, like a new
Yeah.
metaphor comes in. And I love this too, because like what the alternative could be is like you're on a backpacking trip, you pack up camp,
And you
and
move.
you keep walking the trail.
Exactly.
And then
It's
it's
the
not that you
difference.
don't camp, because there are different points in our
Yeah,
lives that we do set up camp.
absolutely.
We do have positions that we have, or roles that we play, and there are certain identities that we develop. So it's not that we
Absolutely.
don't have that, but you want to keep it nimble and like packable and
Nimble is a
something you
great
can
word.
carry with you, and not be too established in your camp such that you can't recognize the change maybe that you need to make.
Exactly. It's like the pebble that you've been sleeping on your backpack is like, if you're not getting up and taking it, throwing it out the tent or whatever. Like, or, recognizing that the river's getting high, which is a hard metaphor to use right now. But
Yeah.
all of those things, you know, um, yeah, it is like that. And I think when people the get rigid, I mean, even when the body gets rigid, rigidity's never our friend. It doesn't it doesn't help.
Yeah. And that rigidity, like I think about, when people do like tests where like they hold your hand and let it like drop, and if you're able to like actually release, that's like when you're able to relax into being held, like, basically.
Yeah.
And I did this exercise, it was about a month or so ago, with a group, and there were some people that literally, like, you pick up their hand and then the person drops it and their hand's in the exact same place, right? Holding yourself up because of, really, it's like the unsafety, of releasing, of letting go, of being caught, of being held. And I can very much relate to, have that still in my body,
Yes, so
and
do
I
I.
see it in the way I carry myself too, like that there's a rigidity that I'll carry in my body around not having that full, like I'm held, like, whatever happens, like I can fully release, because there's something that's wanting to carry whatever is happening. And that
Or self protect.
or like have some kind of, self-protection is, and like a way of being able to create movement, like around something. You're like, this is what I'm doing right now, and so you tense up around that thing, and that's what you're.
That's reminding me of like when people think they need to be really strong. Like
Yeah.
strength comes from rigidity, from being in place, from being, and it can,
Mm-hmm.
but also there is strength and softness. There's strength and flow. We just don't attribute it that way. We oftentimes mostly attribute strength to certain ideals, like stoic behavior, people that don't cry,
People
that
who seem
keep it
independent.
together and
Yeah.
are forceful
And do a
and
lot.
do a lot. And I don't see strength that way anymore. I did for a long, 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 long time because that's what was taught to me. But I don't, I think a lot of that comes from being in a patriarchy, a male dominated society, because that's very male.
And it's a way to protect yourself from feeling.
It is. And we're taught that. I mean, I was taught that in corporate America. I couldn't cry. And I had a corporate job that was like frowned upon. And I was always also told I was too creative just to follow the rules.
Right.
Even if I could do it better, not to. Through my creativity. I thought about stop thinking
yeah.
so much. Telling you how to
Stop
do
making
it
things better than they are.
exactly.
Yeah, it's a threat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a threat.
Yeah.
Because I could show somebody up by making it better. I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to make it better.
Yeah.
But yes, very much so. So it took a long time to unravel what is strength. And I always have felt that vulnerability, if you can be vulnerable, that is the strongest you can be.
Yeah.
Because you can stand in your place and be open and receiving and vulnerable to the things surrounding you without walls, without having to put everything back into place, to be strong.
Right. And that vulnerability
And that
for most of us
softness.
is, it's that soft, gooey feeling part inside it's inside everyone, but it's whether or not we are able to let down all of the layers that stand between that softness in us and a softness in another, and whether or not that it's, and in sharing that softness, is it going to land in the hands of someone that could hold that softness?
I have found that the best testing ground for being able to be vulnerable is kindness. It's like it's like the gateway
Stepping stone.
drug.
I love that. The gateway drug of
To
vulnerability is kindness.
kindness.
I want a t-shirt that says that. We could hats. I'm sure we could sell a lot of that.
It's a side
Capitalism.
business. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You can buy them on her website.
Excellent. Finally, I'm cashing in. Yeah. I love that. That is so true.
It feels like that to me. And I feel like I approach almost everything now. Even when I want to go to fear or anger, I take a beat and I'm like, go kind. Put that out there first. If it's not met and you need to put up a wall, if you need to throw down a boundary, if you need to like take care of yourself, like you know how to do that. So go kind first. Err on the side.
Yeah.
And if it's not received, if it's not given back, if it's attacked, if it's, if it's not going to land, then you can do other things. And then that's not a safe place for vulnerability for me.
Yeah.
So you won't get more of that. You won't get the next step.
Right, but the kindness is like, it's an extension of that softness and that vulnerability. Like it seems kind of extraordinary to say like kindness is vulnerable, but it is so true, and especially in a society where we're are so walled and guarded and separate
You have,
that
yeah,
the very small act of kindness can disarm someone also.
it can.
Yeah.
It really can. It can be a strength. I mean, it is a strength because I think to lead with kindness, you are opening yourself. You have to
You
open
are.
yourself. You can't go in defensively.
Because kindness comes from the heart. It's a heart
It's a heart,
feeling.
right. And if you're saying it's for everyone, then it's for everyone that you don't maybe appreciate the way they walk in life. Like you don't appreciate their politics, their religious choices, their partner choice, the color of their car, whatever it is. You might not appreciate, if you knew them very well, a whole lot of things about the way they walk in life. But it might be a way of bridging gaps between understandings. And I am not saying like putting aside bad behavior or um, putting aside bad behavior, putting it like changing your mind about things that you hold in integrity, but some people have never even felt true kindness,
Right.
or even understood you could lead with that, or understood like you could have that conversation and still not agree on probably 99% of things in the world. But maybe that spark, maybe that just seeing human inside each other helps. Maybe just a little. Maybe it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. But that drop or that spark could ignite a larger flame.
That's my hope.
I really think that's true.
Yeah.
And sometimes in this world with so much going on right now, it can feel like we lose sight of the most small but powerful things that we know do work. Because maybe in part we, it's to be in touch with our own kindness is to be in touch with our own vulnerability. And that's hard because it's being in touch with your feelings, the places that hurt.
Yeah.
Kindness doesn't come without a price in terms
Yeah.
of, in order to be in touch with that kindness, you're also going to feel the grief, you're going to feel sadness, these other things that come through the heart.
You would have had to have done a lot of that work. But I mean, we've been battling throughout existence, throughout the human experience. It's not working.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. It's not working. And I think being a person that cares about the greater good, the greater picture, the bigger experience, I care about my neighbors. I care about people. Um, yeah, trying new things might be the way to go. Trying something else.
And trying something that, if nothing else, to have the vulnerability of feeling that kindness, extending that kindness, in that extension, you do feel that at least it's a kindness to yourself too.
It is. I mean, you get something from it. You get an exchange. You get a human exchange. You get something.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. It feels, yeah.
And even if the other person's not receptive, also the kindness can be that the understanding of the other.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But sometimes also I've been kind to people who've been shitty to me.
And they
And but no, and then it's funny when they're not. Like I have a little joke
Yeah,
of
right, exactly,
like
because you just
it's funny.
yeah.
It's kind of like instead of taking it personally,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not that invested right up front, right? So you're offering kindness and somebody doesn't go that with you, or acts in a grumpy way or whatever they're going to do, it's like, oh, that's funny. Like it almost takes the bite out of it.
Right. Well, and that shows like a certain level of really being in touch with like, because I know like I used to be really friendly around like when I go on walks, and when people wouldn't be kind and say hello back, I felt impacted and I felt really
Oh,
like
yeah.
sensitive to that
Okay.
because there wasn't the exchange. And I had to really dig into like, what was that? Like,
Yeah.
why did I need someone else to be kind back? And there was something in me that needed to have that in return. But that's actually not like a true gesture of just kindness.
Yeah, because it
It's
doesn't
because
have,
you're
yes.
needing something in return. And yeah, to be in a place where you're more in your own sense of yourself and you extend the kindness or you extend the vulnerability, and if it's not met, you can still hold that sense of self and still hold your own either humor or like
Yeah,
lightness about it, and it's not personal. Also, it comes from that place of more of self-love.
it does. I was going to circle back to
Yeah,
that when you're like, that's what I was
yeah,
thinking when you were talking. It circles back to if you're taking care of your own needs and your self-love and you're you're curious about yourself and you're having a full-blown relationship with yourself, you don't worry about the other side as much
yeah,
of being met. It's nice when it happens. It's like miraculous and beautiful and all the feels, and I live for it. I love it. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't destroy me either. It doesn't take me out. Or I was even thinking like the only thing that really enrages me, that makes me want to fight, is when I see an injustice being done to another person. I just want to shut that down right now. Like,
yeah,
and I would.
yeah, yeah,
Like, and that's funny because it's not even one being done to me because I know how to walk away from it unless they kept on. And then I would shut that stuff down too. But like, it's easy to walk away from that because that's their battle. That's them. It's not me. I led with something. And if you can't follow it up, I actually find it sometimes it's funny just because somebody's in their grouch, or where they are right then. They just aren't, and they're a lovely person. They're just in that. And that's when I find it kind of tee-hee, like funny. Or I can feel sorry for them too sometimes because they can't reach it.
yeah. I think that's also where I will feel into like talk about wondering.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Yes.
is it in this person where they can't access the part of them that's kind, and that there's a loss there, not for me, but for that potential connection we could
Yeah.
have for that other person, for the experience of how good it feels
Yeah.
to extend
Yeah,
kindness to
that's what I
each
mean. I
other.
like you're cheating
Yeah,
yourself out of this really amazing feeling.
right. And the beauty of what we're talking about, of this field of presence, of
Mm.
the feeling of being in a place where you can kind of bask in that connection
Yeah. And share it and amplify it
and feel alive and
and feel
feel
alive
well and feel
and
okay.
and eat a burger.
And a few pastries
And a few pastries
like we've been
together.
doing. Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't have to be so big and esoteric because
No,
it's in the mundane. It's
it's
in the
not
little
though.
things.
That's the
It's
thing, is
not.
you can't actually make it into what it's not.
Exactly.
It's never actually big and esoteric. And
It's
that's the
not.
funny thing,
The
is that,
sweetness is in
yeah,
the unexpected
yes. And it's
and the
in
everyday.
every day. It's
little
never not an
tiny
everyday.
moments. It's
Yeah.
not in the big things.
No, it never could be, too. I mean, in terms of, you can't make it a big thing.
No. Because it's all around us all the time.
Yeah, it's just whether we're tuned in to that, really.
And I think that's the thing about waiting for the big moment or the big arrival or the big anything. It's like, then you're just like suspending yourself. You're not living.
Right. Or waiting for that, all
Waiting
those
for
external
all
trappings to make your life better. When the job, when the person, when the,
Yeah.
when those things are never the conditions that make this possible.
Exactly. Like, we're in this beautiful park and I'm looking around and I'm taking it in while we're talking. And I'm noticing a father and a daughter play with a soccer ball over there. And I can feel that. I can feel that joy.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful moment. And I just participated.
Yeah.
That's why I like to watch dogs play, because there's so much joy.
There's so much joy.
They embody so much joy.
So uninhibited.
Uninhibited joy and recklessness and messiness and slobber and mud.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't care.
No, they don't give any. Yeah.
They give no fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is that place of being uninhibited.
Yeah. Being able to dip in the moment.
Dip in the moment. I like that. Is that also, like we said, it's not like you're in it all the time.
No,
all day.
exactly. It's the building blocks. It's
Yeah.
the last stroke of the painting with all the other strokes. It's not a constant. It can't be, because it's divine.
Mm-hmm.
It's divinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's miraculous that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's like catching a star.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that if it happened all the time. It would be mundane and normal and regular and boring and special.
You're special.
You're special.
I'm just so grateful. I don't know, just feel so grateful for your heart and just, yeah, how vulnerable and open that in the way that you absorb the world. I mean, just.
It's a beautiful place.
Kristin.
But it is.
I know, but.
But it's your vulnerability that is allowing me to talk like this and connect it all. Without you here, this would not be happening.
We're just a pool of tears. We're dipping into a pool of tears.
Oh, it's so delightful.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. You and your beautiful hazel.
That was very special.
Got to a nice place. Good.